You know, that time lapse was about a minute for you, but for me, that time lapse took me way too long. For instance, I needed a lot of moss for that, and I mean like a lot, because the whole island was made out of moss and mossy cobble and mossy stone bricks. So I had to build this moss farm. To build that moss farm, I also needed a whole bunch of lava buckets. And then I also needed a whole bunch of podzol. And then I also needed mud, so I built a mud farm up there on my base. But to build that mud farm, I needed so many glass bottles. Like, you need to fill an entire dropper with water bottles, or maybe it's a dispenser, I don't know. And then you need to also fill an entire hopper with like stacks of water bottles. Whoops. But to get water bottles, I needed a whole bunch of sand. And by a whole bunch of sand, I mean a whole bunch of sand. But to make the glass out of the sand, I need a whole bunch of coal. So then I even had to mine a whole load of coal. Luckily I had a bunch of ore that was in storage already. And then I also had to get concrete, which took up more time. But I think I just find it crazy that what I'm building is like the casing of a farm. But then to build the casing of this creeper farm, I then had to build a moss farm and a mud farm. And now I'm going to have to build casings for both of those farms and like little buildings around them. And I'm wondering how many more farms am I going to build to cover those farms with, like to get the materials for those farms. But at the end of the day, eventually I'm going to have a farm for everything. I need prismarine for this build, so I already had a little bit from, well, actually a lot from the Guardian farm. Yeah, I think I just find it really interesting, the sort of circle of events that leads to the final build. It's very interesting. So this is what we've got for the island so far. I added in a little beehive farm there because I need a bunch of honey, and going back and forth to my base over here, putting campfires down to get the bees. It's quite annoying, and it works well enough as a bee farm. I don't need anything crazy automatic because I don't need that much. I do have to work out what I'm going to do with that up there. That's the AFK platform for the farm, but I'm not sure that I really need it. I think that just by having the chunks loaded and working on this area or just nearby does a good enough job at getting enough gunpowder. We don't need that much, and there's already so much in there. As for what we're actually building, I have already made a video on it, and I built it in creative mode. We have a little lighthouse. Well, actually it's fairly big, but a lighthouse nonetheless that we're gonna get up. And I would also like to say, if my movement seems a little bit funny and I'm not sprinting or crouching sometimes, that is because my pinky is dislocated, and well, it was dislocated, and it's been taped to my ring finger, so it's a little bit difficult to press shift. I have to press it with my thumb, so I'm going to be a little bit janky for a little while. As for the build, I'll get a little taste test up and started. This is what we're looking like. So we're going to kind of stretch this around on every side, and if you've seen the other video, you'll see what the rest looks like. So I'll get it put up real quick. Enjoy the time lapse. So it actually turns out that I forgot to gather like a fair few materials for this build. So up here I have no mangrove, like literally not a single propagule, and nobody else does, so I'm gonna have to go explore and try to find a mangrove biome and get that. I've been waiting for wandering traders, but for some reason they ain't spawning in. They only come in when you don't want them. I also need there's a few things that I just failed to gather, and I gathered way too much of everything. I don't know what I was doing, to be honest. But yeah, I need to grab stuff like the flowers, a lot of the stuff for interiors, all the leaves as well. So we're gonna have to come back to this a little bit later. But for right now, I just spent an hour or so down in the pits in the Nether, and I've managed to get myself a little bit of this for these two. Let's go smelt this up. Somehow I don't have a smithing table, so I'll just quickly craft one of those up. I have no gold. This is an issue. So I guess I'll have to go and mine some gold. Oh, 7 pieces I can steal and 7 ingots. I might have some the nether gold, whatever you call that stuff, down here in the underground segment. Ooh, I might as well check these chests too. Nothing. Okay. We keep looking. Nothing in here. We got 1 gold ingot. That is marvelous. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Do I have anything in here? No. I need 12 ingots, and I've managed to get 9. My lord. Maybe up by the end, or the nether portal? Please be some in here. We might have just found the jackpot. I don't even know how much these drop. Hopefully this is enough. Oh, they drop a lot. Okay, cool. We've got plenty of gold now. I won't need this. There we go. No place like here, right next to the graveyard. Some netherite ingots. Oh, I forgot that I need the smithing template. Let's see. Good thing we have a bunch of diamonds. Alright. Let's do this. Marvelous. Marvelous. And I'll actually... This is definitely the coolest of these 3. That one's not horrible, but I think we're going with the Vex. I should duplicate that first. How about that? A little bit of cobblestone. That was a very close call. I nearly just crafted that. There we go. How does that look? I'm actually not a fan. I changed my mind. I'll try someone else. I think I'm gonna go with the flow, so I think I need a breeze rod. Luckily I have a bunch on hand. Yeah, we go. That's much better. I like this. Very cool. So we have sentry, sentry, flow, flow. Okay, that's kind of cool. And the last bit, I think I'm just gonna put it on my hoe. I don't need it on my fortune pickaxe. I think it's cooler to have a netherite hoe. There we go. Serious dedication. Oh. Okay. I think that was a fantastic decision. I don't know why they're making me reevaluate. Alright, nice. We have a cool fit. Although I will most of the time be wearing my elytra. But nonetheless, it's still pretty cool. Now let's get, I guess, material gathering. I need some mangrove, dude. Holy. Well, that was an eventful trip. I've got a bunch of mangrove to farm now. I love the falling tree mod. My goodness. Because these mangrove trees are such a pain to farm. This makes it so much easier. On that trip to go get the mangrove wood, I lost a horse. And then when I lost the horse, there was a dog right there, so I tamed the dog and I named it Horse in respect for the horse that I lost. And then later on, I lost that dog. So now I have nothing. So that's wonderful. And I've just realized that I'm farming these trees wrong, because you're meant to grab the propagules off of it, if I'm not mistaken. Do they have to grow, or do I get them now? I don't know how these things work. I might leave it for a minute. Or could I bone meal this? Oh, that's better. Okay, this is going to be annoying. Very tedious. But I think that over in the graveyard, I might rename or add names to the gravestones in sort of like respect for those two fellas that we lost. So that's a bit of a shame. And it was because of server connection too, like the server rubber banded. It happens every now and then where we get what some of the other guys like to call King Crimson. I don't know what anime it's from, but it's from some sort of anime where a character can turn back time. I'm just gonna get a bunch of mangrove, and then there's still a lot of materials together, so I guess maybe a time lapse. This really is a problem. Enderman griefing, like, dude, tearing my whole thing apart. I patched up a couple blocks over here as well. And I caught the guy red-handed, but this is so annoying. I reckon I'm gonna have to get a data pack or a mod of some sort that gets rid of Enderman griefing. Like, creepers I can handle. Creeper blew up when I was setting up, putting the leaves on the trees over there. That's fine. I can rebuild that. But like one random block missing, like, look at the size of this island. How am I supposed to damn find that one missing block? Like, it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I've finished the whole thing. It's done. Added a little bit of grass, just kind of dotted around. Very sparse. I think that's the right word. A little pathway over here to the beehive. I decided I'd make this permanent. And I actually still need a bit of honey to wax some copper. But yeah, I tried to make it fit a little bit nicer as well with the carpets and that sort of stuff. Obviously these leaves, I love these trees. If we go into free cam, you can see that they have a bit of a gradient to them. There's this side is the spruce leaves, and then there's the birch leaves there. And then I think these are acacia, yeah. So it kind of, if you look at it from a bit of a distance, there's a bit of a gradient to it, so where this side's shaded and this side's a bit lighter. And I love doing stuff like that. Adds a little bit of interest. It makes them a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more lore to it. I quite like it. I tried using the ghast and to do the leaves, but he kind of didn't fit in between everything, so I ended up just jumping around between them. I finished off the interior too, so we're looking all finished in here. This room I feel like I gotta add a little bit more, and that's kind of annoying. I'll fix that. In fact, I'll fix that right now. If I steal those and then drop down here, steal these. Oh, I had some in my inventory anyway. Didn't need to do that. That's okay. Put a couple stairs there, that there. Beautiful, all fixed. But anyway, where was I? We're finished. Kind of a little bedroom here. Pretend that wasn't there. That's what happens when you build something without a texture pack on or a resource pack, and then you add the resource pack afterwards. I need to fill in this bookshelf. Add a couple books. Little kitchen, lovely. If you saw the video I made in creative, you'd already have a tour. A little bathroom in here. And then this is our storage, and you can see it's actually already working. And this is what we already had in here. It comes up through these pipes and through some hoppers. And then the very tippy top upstairs here, a little bit of storage and control room that does literally nothing. I'll show you what does do something if we go all the way down, just across here and into the basement. Here is where we get interesting. The glowberries need to grow a little bit, kind of around the sides here, very short still, little babies. That's the last thing I did. And then we have our pipe that goes up all the way, and our creeper killing chamber. Very nice, not very fancy at all, but yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for these glowberries to grow. Added the glow lichen all the way around. I thought it looks kind of cool on the sea line, almost like little fungus that's growing out of the water. I'm really happy with how this place has turned out. But I'm missing an end rod. Anyway, what was I saying? I think the last thing we gotta do for the day, get a horse. We gotta replace our old buddy horse and the dog that came after him, which I don't think this will be difficult. I gotta go and grab a saddle first though. For some reason, horses just spawn like absolute, I don't even know. They just spawn a lot. So I'll have plenty of options to choose from. Grab a saddle and some leather armor, and let's go this way. I think just over on this hill here, there was 1,000,000 horses last time I saw. Okay, so there's 3 there. Let's have a snooze. Should have brought apples or carrots or something, but we're just gonna have to raw dog this. Come on. This is a gorgeous horse. I love the grey. There we go. Let's see. Alright, this fella is incredibly slow. Oh my, I'm better off running. Ooh, little polka dot horse. Let's see what you got. Okay, this is quicker. This is better. Right now we have a winner. Let's steal this villager's horse. What are we saying? Trying to kill me. Holy. Attempted murder. There we go. How do I get out of here with the horse? This is so dumb. Alright, this guy's slow as hell. That was a waste of time. Little polka dot horse over here. Let's see what you got, buddy. Oh, they're all in the ravine there. That makes sense. Well, that was quick. But you're incredibly slow. That's okay. Who's next? Another polka dot horse? Ooh, this fella's not awful. Maybe I'll have to take a couple of them home. You're the last one I'm gonna test, buddy. This fella's spazzing out. This guy's pretty quick too. This isn't bad at all. Now to test their jumping. Alright, this guy's got 3 blocks. I think we might have a winner. Unless these guys really impress. We have a 3-block jump winner. And he's pretty quick too. Lovely. Holy, look at the jump on this fella. That's wicked. So I'm thinking I'll keep both of these guys in here. This old fella, I'll keep you in your own area. This is now my horse. So very nice. Well, I think with that, that's all I'm gonna get done for today. Hope you enjoyed this first episode I've made on the Manji Kingdoms server, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.